All right, let me share my screen right here. And there we go. I'm Buddy Blackman with the Fayetteville Real Estate School, and we're going over Section 8 of the original math workbook for pre-licensing. Section 8, equity and percent change. Equity and percent change. All right, let's see what's going on here. And equity and percent change problems are just as simple if you practice and read the question completely before you attempt the answer. All right, so we say in all math problems for real estate, on the real estate test, read the entire problem first and figure out what type of math problem it is. All right, to calculate the percentage change, divide the amount of the change by the original value in the form of a percent, and we'll show you what all that means. All right, now the reason we're doing these math problems on video is because this is the same way I explain how to do Section 8 equity and percent change in the classroom. Now you can listen to it again here on video. You can stop it, record it, or rewind it, play it again until you can get a grasp on how to do these calculations, equity and percent change. For example, equity and percent change. You buy a home for $43,000, you get a loan in the amount of $34,000. You then sell the home for $87,000 and pay the loan balance of $28,000. What is the percent increase in equity? All right. And I'm going to see if I can do a whiteboard here. I'm going to stop my sharing and do a whiteboard to show you how to set up these equity and percent change or a profit percent, same type of calculation. And let's see here. Whiteboard. Whiteboard. There it says whiteboard. All right. New whiteboard. All right. And my whiteboard is coming up. And you should be able to see my whiteboard right now. I'm going to move this over here so I can actually draw on the screen. All right. So to set up an equity and percent change or a profit percent, you need to set it up this way. First, you need to write buy. Well, you need to write buy and draw a line under it and write sell and draw a line under that. You're going to set it up as a left and right, buy and sell. So you buy a home and let's see right here. You buy a home for 43,000 and you get a loan for 34. So you buy a home for 34,000 and you get a loan of, I'm sorry, you buy a loan. Let's erase that. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to watch two screens at one time. You're not going to buy, you buy it for 43,000. You put that here under the buy. You get a loan for 34, so we're going to subtract 34. And that equals 9,000. That means you have 9,000 in original equity. All right. And then we sell the home for 87 and pay off the loan of 28. So we sell the home for 87,000 and we pay off the loan. We sell the home for 87 and pay off the loan of 28,000 minus the 28,000. Now, mind you, I'm drawing with my finger on my screen. So I hope you can understand what it is. And you subtract that and you get 59,000 of present equity. All right. So you have original equity and you have present equity. And now we're going to, with all you have to do is this much. Now you do the formula for, and let's make sure we're sharing our screen. Now you do the formula, which is the formula is new minus the old divided by the old times 100. And let's see what that will look like. So this is again how you set it up, but with buy and sell. Purchase price, you buy it, you get a loan amount, you subtract that, that gives you the original equity. You sell the house, and then pay off the loan amount minus to pay off the loan amount. That's your present equity, right? And then here is the present equity, 59. Now we have the formula is present equity minus original equity equals the change in equity. So 59 minus 9 equals 50. And then change in equity divided by original equity equals the percent change in equity. And all it's doing is the new or present equity, new minus the old, which is the original equity, new minus the old divided by the old times 100. And this is what you get, 55.56%. All right, and let's see if we can swap back to our sharing. I'm going to swap back to our whiteboard real quick. And now you can see our whiteboard, and we set it up as buy and sell. We bought the home for $43,000. We got a loan for $34,000. So we subtract that, it gives original equity of $9,000. We sold the home for $87,000, paid off the loan balance of $28,000. That gives us a present equity of $59,000. So original equity, present equity. And now the present equity of $59,000 is the new minus the old, which is the original equity of $9,000, divided by the old, which is the $9,000. Multiply that by 100, and you have the percent change in equity. All right, new minus the old divided by the old times 100. That is the formula that you need to know and remember. So let's go back and let's share our screen here. All right. So here's a practice problem. You buy a house for $55,000. You get a loan of $37,000. You later sell the home for $67,000 with an original loan balance of $33,000. What is the percent change in equity? All right, so set it up with buy and sell. We bought it for $55,000. We subtract the $37,000. We sold the home for $67,000, subtract the $33,000. And now it's new minus the old divided by the old. All right, and let's see. So there's our original equity, 55 minus 37. So this is the buy side. We sold the home for 67, paid off the loan amount of 33, gives us a present equity of 34. This is the new. So new minus the old, 34,000 minus the 18 divided by the 18 times 100 will give us our answer. And there it is right there. New minus the old divided by the old times 100 gives us the answer to this problem is 88.9% in present change in equity. All right, so always set it up as new and buy. Let's do this next one, and I will actually try to do it on a whiteboard with you. So if you're looking in your original math book, you can see these problems, and we're on section 8, problem number 2, because I've got to stop the share, and I am going to go to a whiteboard again and see if I can write clearly on this whiteboard here. So, all right, so I set it up as, this is not a touch screen. Hold on just a second. Put it on my monitor. It's got a touch. Now we got buy and sell. We set it up as buy and sell. And I'm going to look in my printed math book here so I can see it. Well, problem number 2. You bought a home for $42,000. So you're going to go right here. You bought the home for $42,000. You received a loan of $30,000. That means your equity is 42 minus 30 equals 12,000. Original equity. Then we sell the home for 52,000. And we pay off the loan balance of 28,000. That gives us a present equity of 52,000 minus 28,000 equals 24,000. And this is present equity. Now we just do new, which is the present equity, minus the old, which is 12,000, divided by the old, which is 12,000, times 100. New minus the old, divided by the old, times 100. So on my calculator, I am going to hit 24,000 minus 12,000 divided by 12,000 times 100. And I get an answer of 100% is the answer. 100% equity and percent change. All right. Equity and percent change is 100%. Now I'm going to close this whiteboard and we're going to jump down to problem number 4 in the new in the math book. I'm going to open another white screen. Whiteboard. All right, so now we're going to do section 8, number 4. Section 8, number 4. We're going to set it up the same way. We're going to buy and we're going to sell. This time, we're not going to use any loan amounts. We just want to know what is the profit percent from where we bought and then we sold. So number 4, we bought a home for 150,000. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, there. And the comma should go right there. 150,000. We sold the home later for 275,000. And now that's all the numbers we need with the buy and the sell for a profit percent, because we do the same formula. New 275,000 minus the old 150,000 divided by the old 150,000 times 100. So let's take our calculator. The profit percent is 275 minus 150,000 divided by 150,000 equals times 100. You got to do times 100, change it to a percent, is 83.33333% is the answer. All right. So that's how you do a buy and sell profit percent. You can also do a loss percent for this. If we look at problem number 5, let's clear this whiteboard and do another whiteboard. So you can also use it for a loss. So we set it up again, just like before, a buy and a sell. Here, section 8, problem number 5 is you bought a home last year for 255,000. Last year, you bought it for 255,000. Now, if you sold it and you really didn't do anything to it, the very next year, you're probably going to have a loss. All right, because by the time you pay all your expenses, everything else, unless something miraculously happened like COVID-19, because we did have people, the prices went up so much in COVID-19. People that we sold the house to 1 year ago or 2 years ago were making a big profit by selling it during COVID because everybody was buying everything. All right. So if you bought a house for 255,000 last year, and for some reason you had to sell it this year, you got to pay off some debt, you got to pay some taxes, you got to do something, and you need money, and it only sold for 240,000, it looks to me like you're going to have a loss. All right, so we do the same formula again. New minus the old divided by the old times 100. So the new 240,000 minus the old 255,000 divided by the old 255,000. And we get times 100. You always have to do the times 100. We get 5.8. We get a negative 5.88235, whatever percent. Drop the negative because we know it's a loss. The loss just means it's a negative. So how much is your loss? The answer would be 5.8823% loss. All right. And that is how you do equity and percent change. Let's move this back over to here. And let's look at number 4 on my screen. I'm going to share my screen again. And here's number 4. We just went over this. Share. We just went over this. You buy a home for $150,000. A few years later, you sell the home for $275,000. What is your profit percent? And so it's 275 new minus the old, and then divided by the old times 100, 83.33% is your profit percent on that transaction of buying and selling that home. Then if we jump down to number 5, here is a loss. Here is the formula that you need for profit and percent change, or profit percent and loss change. New minus the old divided by the old times 100. You have to remember that. You have to recognize it is a equity and percent change or profit and loss formula. You will have a problem like this on the test. All right, here you bought a home for $255,000. You desperately need to sell it. You sell it for $240,000. So we set it up as buy $255,000, sell $240,000, and do the new minus the old divided by the old times 100, and you get a 5.89% loss. So all right, we just rounded it up. There was a bunch of decimal places on that. All right, that is section 8 of the original math book for pre-licensing class. Again, rewind this, look at it again, go over this until you're comfortable with this. You will have a question like this on the test, so you do need to know this right here. Good luck. Check out our other videos on YouTube, and also check out that GPS of passing the real estate course, and we'll tell you what and how you need to study to pass the course, and you do need to study. All right, and I will see you in class.